Signor!
I learned in this lecture that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He was no more than 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
Few of any sort, but none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here he has bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Oh, much deserved. He had borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing, in the image of a lamb, the feats of a lion.
I pray you, is Senior Mount Anto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There is none in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedick of Padua.
He's returned and as pleasant as ever he was.
I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece. You tax Signor Benedick too much.
He has done a good service in these wars, and a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. What is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There's a merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet. But there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. At our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off. Now is the whole man governed with 1. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord. He will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedick, it will cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
Don Pedro is approaching.
Signor Leonato, are you come to meet your trouble? The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace.
Your grace has too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her mother hath often told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict, no. For then you were a child.
You have it in full, Benedick. You may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly, the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedick. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain? Are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she hath such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedick? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat? But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I had in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood I am of your humor for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God, keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, if 'twere such a face as yours were.
Oh, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
Would my horse have the speed of your tongue? Keep your way, God's name. I have done.
You always end in a jade's trick. I know you of old.
Signor Claudio and Signor Benedict, my good friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him that we shall stay at least the month, and he heartily prays that some occasion may detain us longer.
I bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled with the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please it, your grace. Lead on.
Your hand, Leonato. We shall go together.
Benedick, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple true judgment? Or would you have me answer after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, methinks then she is too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation can I afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. And being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport, I pray thee. Tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow, or you play the flouting jack to tell us that Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter.
In mine eyes, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked upon.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. Now there's her cousin, if she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her more in beauty than the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
Oh, well, I would scarce trust myself, but I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Ah, it's come to this? Oh, shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Oh, no, too. In faith, if thou wilt need thrust thy neck into a yoke.
Gentlemen, what secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonato?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
Oh, you hear, Count Claudio? I concede to this dumb man, but on my allegiance. Mark you this? On my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Now, that's your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
Amen, if you love the lady, for she is very well worthy.
You seek to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I spoke my thought.
And by mine, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my two fades and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved or know how she should be worthy is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I shall put my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. Because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with hunger, or with sickness, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking. Pick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, as time shall tell, in time, the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
Ah, the savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedick bear it, pluck off the bull's horns, set them in my forehead. And let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they write, here is good horse to hire. Let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedick, the married man.
Well, you will temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Senior Benedick, repair thee to Leonato's, commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I have almost enough matter in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you to the tuition of God. Nay, mock not, mock not. Ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience. And so, I leave you.
My liege, your highness now may do me good. Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero, she's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this indeed action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye that liked, but had a rougher task at hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou shalt be like a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of words. Now, if thou dost love fair hero, cherish it. And I will break with her and with her father, and thou shalt have her. Now, was it not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love that no love's grief by its complexion.
I know we shall have reveling tonight. I shall assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair hero I am Claudio. And in her bosom, I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. And then after to her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
How now, sister? Where is my cousin, your son? Hath he provided this music?
Oh, he is very busy about it. But, brother, I can tell you strange news that you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
For as the event stamps them, oh, they show well outward. The prince, walking in mine orchard, discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he found her accordant, he meant to instantly break with you of it.
I shall acquaint my daughter withal, that she may be better prepared for an answer, if this be true. Go you and tell her on it.
Well, what the good here, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no music in the occasion that breathes. Therefore, the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
Ha! I wonder thou would apply a moral medicine to mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jest. Eat when I have stomach and wait on no man's business. Sleep when I am drowsy and tend on no man's leisure. Laugh when I am merry and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the fool show this, ye may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he had newly taken you into his grace.
Oh! I had rather be a caker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. Better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though it cannot be said that I'm a flattering, honest gentleman, it must not be denied that I am a plain dealing villain. I am entrusted with a muzzle, enfranchised with a chain. Therefore I've decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. Therefore let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. What news, Borachio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato. And I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief upon? What's he for a fool that would betroth himself to such unquietness?
Marry, it is your brother's right hand.
What? The most exquisite Claudio.
Even he.
Very proper, squire. And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Marry on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward marked chick. How came you to learn this?
I heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come. Come, let us to the great supper. This may prove food to my displeasure. Let the young upstart have all the glory of my overthrow. Oh, if I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
Come, Let us see what is to be done.
We'll wait upon your lordship. Was Count John not at supper?
I saw him not. How tartly that gentleman looked. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedick. The one is too like an image and says nothing. The other, too like my lady's eldest son, ever more tattling.
So, have Signor Benedick's tongue in Count John's mouth, and have Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedick's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world, if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband, if thou be so shrewd with thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. For it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns. But to a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So by being so cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just so he sends me no husband. For the which blessing, I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face.
You may like done a husband that hath no beard.
And what should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel? Make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth. He that hath no beard is less than a man. He that is more than a youth is not for me. He that is less than a man, I am not for him.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, faith. It is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Father, as it please you. But yet, for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Father, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope someday to find you fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with a piece of valiant dust? To make an account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, uncle, I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything. And so dance out the answer.
Niece, you apprehend passage shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are coming. Sister, make good room.
Lady, you walk about with your friend.
So you walk softly, look sweetly, and say nothing. I am yours for the moment, especially when I walk away.
With me in your company,
I may say so when I please.
and when please you say so.
When I like your favor, for God defend the lute should be like the case.
My visor is Philemon's roof. Within the house is Job.
Why then, your visor should be thatched.
Speak low. You speak of love.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I like you the better. The hearers cry amen.
I know you are so
And a word I am not.
I know you by the wagging of your head.
To tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You could not do the man so ill well unless you are he.
At a word I am not.
Do you think you could hide your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Graces shall appear and
Will you not tell me who told you so?
I pray you pardon me, no.
Nor will you tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful? That I got my good wit out of the 100 fairy tales? Why, this was Signor Benedick that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Oh, not I, believe me.
Did he ever make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester. A very dull fool. His only gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. I am sure he is in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do! We must follow the leaders.
Signor, are you not Signor Benedick?
You know me well, I'm he.
Signor, you are very near to my brother in his love, and he is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal to his birth.
How know you that he loves her?
I heard him profess his love.
So did I too. And he swore he would marry her tonight. Come, let us to the banquet. Thus answer I in the name of Benedick. To hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. Oh, 'tis certain so the prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all things save in the office and affairs of love. This is an accident of hourly proof which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio.
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Why, even to the next willow tree about your business, County. What fashion will you wear your garland of? About the neck, like a usurer's chain, or underneath your arm, like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Oh, that's spoken like an honest drover as they sell bullocks. Did you think the prince would have served you
I
thus?
pray you leave me.
Oh, now you strike like a blind man.
If it will not be, I leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into the sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me. The prince's fool. Ha! Maybe I go under that title because I'm married. Yea, but so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person, and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, sir, where's the Count? Have you seen him?
Troth, my lord, I played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge and warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady, and I offered him my company to a willow tree to either make him a garland as being forsaken, or bind him up a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy who, finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Wilt thou make trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealing.
Yea, but it had not been amiss that the rod had been made, and the garland too, for the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If they're singing, answer your saying. By my faith, you sing honestly.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel with you. The gentleman that walked with her told her that she was much wronged by you.
She misused me past the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester. That I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance that I stood like a man at a mark with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poignards and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her, she would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her were she endowed with all that Adam had before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules have turned the spit. Yea, and she would have cleft his club and used it to make the fire too. Now, talk not of her.
Look, here she comes.
I would your grace command me any service to the world's end. I will go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a hair off the great Cham's beard. I will do you any embassage to the pygmies, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. Oh. You have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
God, sir, this is a dish that I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedick.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it of me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
Nay, you have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not. He would do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
How now, Count? Wherefore art thou sad?
Not sad, my lord.
Sick, then?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sick nor sad, nor merry nor well, but civil, Count, as civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think you're blazoned to be true. Though if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is one. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day, the marriage, and God give you joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her all my fortunes. For his grace has made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give myself away for you and do dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin! Or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither. Ah!
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord. I thank it, poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good Lord, for alliance. Thus goes everyone to the world but I. And I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry, hey-ho, for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would I had one of your father's getting. Had your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands if a maid could come by 'em.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord. Unless I could have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. Oh, but I beseech your grace pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me. Than to be married best becomes you, for out of question. You were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord. My mother cried. But then there was a star danced, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to the things I spoke to you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle. By your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There is little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad but when she sleeps, and I never sad then. I've heard my daughter say she has often dreamed of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure or hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedick.
My lord, my lord! They would be but a week married, and they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when will you go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just 7 nights, and a time too brief to answer all things my mind.
Come, you shake your head at so long a breathing. But I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Senior Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I fain would have it a match, and doubt not but fashion it, if you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights watching.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero.
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedick is not the most unhopefulest husband that I know. I will teach you how to humor your cousin, that she shall fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedick that despite his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer, his glory shall be ours, for we are the only love god. Come, go with me, and I will tell you my drift.
It is even so that the Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord. But I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him. Come, whatsoever to thwart his affections ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber window.
What light is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio to a contaminated stale. Such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and kill Leonato. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I shall endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw both Don Pedro and Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal to both the prince and Claudio that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances, which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window, hear me call Margaret Hero, hear Margaret term me Claudio. Bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding, and there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it into practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats. Ah.
Be constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I shall presently go learn this day of marriage.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool, when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when the only music with him is the drum and the fife. And now had he rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would walk 10 miles afoot to see a good armor. And now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now is he turned to orthography. All his words a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? Well, I cannot tell. I think not. I'll not be sworn, but love will transform me into an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it. Till love make an oyster of me, he will never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman will not come in my grace. Well, rich shall she be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll not cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse. An excellent musician. And her hair will be whatever color pleases God. Oh, here comes the prince. And Monsieur Love. I'll hide me.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my lord. How still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedick hath hid himself.
Oh, very well, my lord. The music ended, we'll fit the kid box with a pennyworth.
Come, Balthazar. We'll hear that song again.
Oh, good, my lord, but tax not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
It is the witness still of excellency to put a strange face on his own perfection. And I pray thee sing and let me woo no more.
Oh, now, fine air. Now is his soul ravished. Is it not strange that sheep guts should pale men's souls out of their bodies?
Sigh no more, lady, sigh no more. Men are deceivers ever. One who can see and one sure, to one thing constant never. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of war into hey nonny nonny. Sing no more, did he sing no more of dumb so dull and heavy? The fraud of man was ever so, since summer first was leaving. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of war into hey nonny nonny, converting all your sounds of war into hey nonny nonny.
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
No. In faith, thou singst well enough for a shrift.
And if he had been a dog and had housed us, they'd have hanged him.
Oh, do you hear, Balthazar? Get us some excellent music. For tomorrow night we would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonato. What was it thou told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedick.
I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should dote on Signor Benedick, whom she has in all outward behaviors seemed ever to abhor.
Possible?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Well, maybe she does but counterfeit.
Oh, God. Counterfeit? There was never counterfeit of passion. It came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what's effect passion shows you?
Bake the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How? How, I pray you? What? You amaze me! I would have thought her spirit invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedick.
I would think this to be a trick, but that her uncle speaks it.
Has she made her affection known to Benedick?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
It were good he knew it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would but make sport of her and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should, it were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent, sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
Yes, in everything but in loving Benedick.
I am sorry for her, and I have just cause, being her uncle and her guardian.
I wish she had bestowed this affection on me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her half myself. I pray you, let us seek Benedick out and hear what he will say.
Were it good thing?
Yes. Hero thinks surely she will die. For she says she will die if he love her not. She will die ere she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her.
If she were to make tender her love, 'tis very likely he'll scorn her. For the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath a good outward happiness.
Before God and by my mind, very wise.
He does indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I do take him to be valiant.
As Hector, I assure you. Well, my heart is sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedick out and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Rather let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that were impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, let it cool a while. We will hear more of it of your daughter. I do love Benedick well. And I could wish that he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy. So good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If you do not go on her upon this, I will never trust my expectations.
Let the same net be spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. The sport will be when they each hold one an opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. That's the scene that I would see, which will be merely a dumb show. Let us send her to call him in to dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly bored. They have the proof of it from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems, too, her affections have their full bent. Love me. Huh. Why? It must be requited. Well, they say the lady is fair. 'Tis true. I can bear them witness. And wise. But for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument to her folly. For I will be horribly in love with her. Well, I may have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I've railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No! The world must be peopled! When I said that I would die a bachelor, I did not think that I should live till I were married. Oh, here comes Beatrice. Oh, by this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice. I thank you for your pains.
took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a sharp knife's point. You have no stomach, senor. Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as much to say that any pains I take for you is as easy as thanks. Oh, if I do not love her, I am a villain. I'll go get her picture.
No, truly, Ursula. Beatrice is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock. But are you sure that Benedick loves her so entirely? So says the prince and my new betrothed lord. And did they bid you tell her of it, madam? They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them if they loved Benedick to wish him wrestle with affection and never to let Beatrice know of it. Why say you so, madam? Doesn't Benedick deserve so full and fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall count upon? Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man. But nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on. And her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, sure. Therefore it were not good she knew of his love, lest she make sport of it.
Why, you speak true. I never yet saw a man. How wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured. But she would spell him backward. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and marriage purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice's cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedick like covered fire consume away in sighs. Waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks, which were as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it, madam. Hear what she would say.
No. Rather, I will go to Benedick and counsel him fight against his passion. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Do not do your cousin such a wrong. Surely she cannot be without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she's prized to have, as to deny so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
Oh, he is the only man of Italy. Always excepted my dear Claudio.
Madam, I pray I do not anger you, but Signor Benedick, oh, for shape, form, argument, and valor goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent
Good. Name. His Excellence had earned it ere he had it. Madam, what day are you married?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
Madam, she is lying. I warrant you, you would have caught her.
If proved so, then loving proves by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up into holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
No. Oh. No.
Mind your stay till your marriage be consummate, then go I toward Aragon.
I'll bring you hither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage, to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedick for his company. For from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot, he is all mirth. He has twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstrings, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. He hath a heart as strong as a bell, and his tongue is a clapper. For what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Oh, hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have a toothache.
If he be not in love with some woman, there is no believing old signs. Brushes his hat and what should that bode?
Yea, and he rubs himself with civet. You smell not by that.
That's as much as to say the sweet youth's in love.
And the greatest note is his melancholy.
Oh, and when was he wont to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself, or the which I hear what they say.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string, and is governed by stops.
Indeed, this tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, he is in love.
Signor, will you walk aside with me? I have studied 8 or 9 wise words that these hobby horses must not hear.
Oh,
With them about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. By this, Hero and Ursula have played their parts with Beatrice, and now the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good den, brother.
If your leisure served you, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear. For what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
Well, no, not that. When he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
Oh, you may think that I love you not. Well, let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me for what I will now manifest. For my brother here, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath helped to effect your ensuing marriage. Oh, alas, a suit ill-spent, labor ill-bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I've come to tell you that the lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she, Leonato's hero, your hero.
Every man's hero.
Disloyal?
Oh, the word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse word, and I shall fit it to her. Wonder not to further warrant. But go with me tonight, and you shall see her chamber window entered even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then tomorrow, marry her. But I think it would better suit your honor to change your mind.
Can this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust what you see, confess not that you know. But if you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more, heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation, where I would wed her, there will I shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to shame her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly till midnight. And then let the issue show itself.
Right, hey! Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were punishment too good for them if they have any allegiance in them at all, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, I'll give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Hugh Oatcake, sir. Or George Seco, for he can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seco.
Hut, hut, hut.
Hut. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man to be constable of the watch. Therefore, here is your charge. You are to comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if he will not stand?
Well then, take no note of him, but let him go, and presently call all the rest of the watch together and praise God
you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. Well, you are to make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We would rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
You speak like a most ancient and quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you were to call at all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk to get them home to bed.
How if they will not?
Wait until they are sober, and if they make you then not the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
Well, if you meet a thief, you may suspect, by virtue of your office, that they are no true man. And the more you meddle or make with such kind of man, why, the worse is for your honesty.
But if we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, you may by virtue of your office, but I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. Truly, the most peaceable way for you, if you do meet a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company, huh?
You have been always called a merciful man, partner.
By my will, I would not hang a dog or more a man with any honesty in him.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Well then, depart in peace and let the child wake her with its crying. For the lamb that will not hear its ewe when it baths will never answer a calf when it bleeds.
'Tis very true.
Here is the end of your charge. You are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Stay the prince? Nay, by Our Lady, that I think I cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on it with any man that knows the statutes. He may stay him. Marry, not without the prince be willing, for the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
By Our Lady, I think it be so.
Well, good night. Good night. And there be any matter of weighty chances, call up me. Keep your neighbor's counsel and your own. Good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, master, we have our charge. Let us sit on the church bench till 2, then all to bed.
One word more. One word more, honest neighbors. Have a watch about Signor Leonato's door. The wedding being there tomorrow, there is great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech thee.
What, Conrade?
Stir not.
Conrade, I say!
Here, man, I'm at thy elbow.
Mass in my elbow itch. I thought there would a scab follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that. And now forward with thy tale.
Well, stand thee close then under this penthouse where it drizzles rain. And I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason, yet stand close.
Therefore, know I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy should be so rich, for when rich villains have need of poor ones, poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
It shows thou art unconfirmed.
But thou knowest the fashion of a hat or a cloak or a doublet is nothing to a man.
Oh yes, it is the apparel.
I mean the fashion.
Yes. Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
So I may as well say the fool's the fool. I mean, but seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily he turns about all the hot bloods between 14 and 5 and 30.
Sometimes fashioning them like Pharaoh's soldiers in the Riki painting. Sometime like Godbel's priests in the old church window. Sometime like the shaven Hercules in the smirched worm-eaten tapestry, where it's caught seems as messy as his glove.
All this I see, and I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. But art not thou thyself giddy with the fashion too? That thou hast shifted out of thy town and telling me of the fashion?
Not so neither. But know that I have tonight wooed Margaret by the name of Hero. She leads me out at her lady's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the Prince Claudio and my master, planted, placed, and possessed by my master, saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter
and thought they Margaret was Hero.
Well, 2 of them did. The prince and Claudio, but the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret. And partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander Don John had made, away went Claudio, enraged! Swore he would meet her as he was appointed next morning at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw overnight, and send her home again, without a husband!
No! We charge you in the prince's name, stand!
Call up the Ringmaster Constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that was ever known in the Commonwealth.
No, masters,
never speak! We charge you, let us obey you to go with us! Go!
Roboto were better.
No, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troth, 'tis not so good. And I warrant that your cousin will say so.
Oh, my cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none, but... Oh, this! Come on.
Your dress is a most rare fashion, in faith.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
Well, 'twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Oh, fie upon thee, art not ashamed.
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband?
Oh,
none, I think. If it be the right wife and the right husband. Otherwise, 'tis light and not heavy.
Withdraw! The prince, the count, Signor Benedick, and all the gallants of the town have come to take you to jail! Help me to dress and make good Ursula!
Signor Leonato!
What would you with me, good neighbor?
Mary, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Mary, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Signor Verges speaks a little off the matter, sir. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as, God help, I would desire they were, but honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, sir, I thank God that I am as honest as any man living that is an old man, and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous, palaverous.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
Tedious. Oh. It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor duke's officers. For mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I would find it in my heart to bestow it all upon your worship.
All thy tediousness on me.
Yea, and 1,000 pounds more than it is, for I hear as good exclamation of your worship as any man in the city. And though I am but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Yes, sir. I'm accepting your worship's presence. We have taken with us today a couple of his errant knaves as Annie and Messina, sir.
A good old man, sir. He will be talking. You know what they say, sir. When the age is in, the wit is out. An honest soul. By my troth, he is as ever broke bread, but God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes well too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must take my leave.
One word, sir. Our watch this night have indeed comprehended two auspicious persons, and we would have them examined before your worship this morning.
Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be sufficient.
Fare you well.
Go, good neighbor. Get you to the sexton. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are to have examination on these men.
And we must do it wisely.
Oh, we will spare no wit, I warrant you. Only get the learned writer, that he may set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail. The jail.
Come, friar, be brief. Only to the plain form of marriage. We shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady.
No.
To be married to her, friar. You come to marry her.
You come hither, lady, to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not so be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any count?
I dare Marcus answer, none.
Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid your daughter?
As freely, son, as God doth give her me.
And what have I to give you back that may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing. Unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness.
Oh, Lord!
There, Leonato. Take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She is the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what show of authority and truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blush as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Aye. Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? Yet she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
What? Damn, my lord. If you, in your own proof, have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity...
I know what you would say. If I had known her, you would say she did embrace me as a husband and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonato. I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to a sister showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on these I will write against it. You seem to me as Dian in her orb, as chaste as is the bud ere it were blown. Yet you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why not speak you?
Should I say? I stand dishonored that I've gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these words but spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, these things are spoken, and they are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
Leonato. Stand I here. Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face, heroes? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, my lord, but what of this?
Let me but put one question to your daughter. With that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee, as thou art my child, to do so.
Oh, God, defend me, how I am beset! What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Marry, that can Hero. Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. What man was he talked with you yesternight out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then you are no maiden. Leonato, I am sorry you must hear. Upon my life, myself, my brother, and this grieved count could see her, hear her at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Oh, Hero! What a hero hadst thou been if half thy outward graces had been about the thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it be more gracious.
Have no man's dagger here, point for me!
Oh, Hero!
Come, let's away. These things brought to light smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Oh, no. Cousin, Hero.
Comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why does not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, Hero! Do not open thine eyes! But did I think thou would not quickly die? Myself would, unaware would the reproaches strike at thy life! Grieve die! I had but one! Oh, why had I one? One too much by thee. Why ever was thou lovely in mine eyes? I might have said no part of it is mine, but mine, and mine I loved, and mine I praised, mine I was proud on, mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder that I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night, I have this 12 months been her bedfellow.
Confirmed! Confirmed! Would the two princes lie? Would Claudio lie? Who loved her so, that speaking of her foulness washed it with tears. Hence from her, let her die!
Hold a little! Trust not my reading nor my observation, which with experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, calling, reverence, nor divinity, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest thou all the grace that she hath left, but that she does not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekest thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that to accuse me I know none. If I know more of any man alive than maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some misprision in the princes.
Two of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdoms be misled in this, The practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirit toils in frame of villainies.
I know not. But if they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. But if they wronged her honor, the proudest of them shall wear hear of it.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. The prince is here, your daughter left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in. Publish it that she's dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a burial.
But what shall become of this? What good will this do?
Mary, this well carried on her behalf shall change slander to remorse. That is some good. She dying, as it must be maintained, upon the instant she's accused, shall be lamented, pitied, excused of every hearer. So shall it fare with Claudio. When he hears that she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and all the lovely organs of her life shall come periled in more precious habit than when she lived indeed. But if all aim but this be leveled false, let the supposition of the lady's death quench the wonder of her infamy. And if this sort not well, then you may conceal her as best befits her wounded reputation in some religious and reclusive life, out of all eyes, tongue, mind, and injury.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine shall lead me.
'Tis well consented. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day is perhaps but prolonged. Have patience, endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
Oh, how much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way. But no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
Strange is the thing I know not. Were it possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you. But believe me not. Yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. Oh, I'm sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest I love thee.
Why then? God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that there is none left to protest.
Come. Bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Oh. Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you, let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We will be friends first.
You dare ease sooner be friends with me than fight with mine enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height a villain that has slandered, scorned, and dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! What? Bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh God, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man at a window, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wronged, she is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly count, comfort. A sweet gallant, surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake. Oh, that I had any friend that could be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongues, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules, that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man for wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry. Good Beatrice. By this hand, I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio will render me a dear account. As you hear of me, think of me. Go comfort your cousin. I will say she is dead. And, so farewell.
Company hall! Prisoners will fall out for punishment. Come on.
Is our whole assembly appeared?
Oh, a stool for the sexton.
What be the malefactors?
Mary, that am I. And my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me.
Get up. Let's go.
What is thy name, friend?
Borachio.
Pray, write down Borachio. And yours, Sirrah.
I am a gentleman, and my name is Conrad.
Pray, write down master, gentleman, Conrad. Do you serve God, masters?
Yea, sir, we hope.
Write down, they hope they serve God, and pray. Write God first, for God defend that God should come before such villains. Masters, it is proven already that you are little better than false knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, I say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I do assure you, but I will go about with him. Master Borachio, a word in your ear. Come hither.
Go.
I say to you that you are little better than a false knave.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Stand aside.
second
Oh
line.
God, they are both in a tale, are they not? Have you writ down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Mary, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forth.
Sit down.
Master, I charge you, in the prince's name, accuse those men.
This man did say that the prince's brother, Don John, is a villain.
Boom! Write down Prince John a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
I prithee, peace, fellow. I do not like thy look, I assure thee.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing Lady Hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as was ever committed.
Yea, by mass, that it is.
What else, fellow?
That Claudio did mean by his own words to disgrace Hero before the assembly and not marry her.
Oh, thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
No, this is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this, suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonato's. I will go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinion.
Let them be in the hands of the
Constable. God's my life, where is the sexton? That he were here to hear a prince's officer called coxcomb. Find him, find that naughty varlet.
Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass! Remember, masters, though it be not written down, that I am an ass. Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass.
Brother Leonato, brother, if you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee cease thy counsel. Bring me a father, whoso loves his child, whose joy of her was overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. If such a one will smile and stroke his beard, patch grief with proverbs, bring him yet to me, and I of him will gather patience. But there is no such man. For sister, men can counsel and speak comfort to their grief, which they themselves not feel. But tasting it, their counsel turns to passion, which before would give perceptual medicine to rage.
Oh, therein do men from children nothing differ.
I pray thee, peace. I will be flesh and blood.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There, thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know, and so shall the prince, and all those that thus dishonored her.
Oh, here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Again? Again?
Good thing, both of you.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonato.
Some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well. Are you so hasty now? Will all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with this good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Mary, thou dost wrong me. Thou dissembler thou.
Oh!
Nay, never lay thy hand upon thy sword. I fear thee not.
In faith, beshrew my hand, if it should give your age such cause for fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
Tush, man. Never fleer and jest at me. I speak not like a dotard nor a fool. I say thy has belied my innocent child. Thy slander has gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried in a tomb. Oh, what scandal never slept. Save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
Thou say'st not right, old man.
My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare. Despite his nice fence and his active practice, his May of youth and his bloom of lustihood.
Away I will not have to do with you.
Can thou so daft me, boy? I say thou hast killed my innocent child. If thou killest me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
He shall kill 2 of us, and men indeed. Oh, well, that's no matter. Let him kill 1 first. Come. Boy, I'll whip you from your foining fence. Nay, as I am a gentlewoman, I will.
Sister Antonia.
Content you, brother. God knows I love my niece. She is dead, slandered to death by villains that dare as well answer a man indeed as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Scambling, out-facing, fashion-monging boys that lie and cog and flout, deprave and slander, go antically, show outward hideousness, and speak of half a dozen dangerous words, how they might hurt their enemies if they durst, and this is all.
Sister.
Come, 'tis no matter. Do not you meddle.
Gentle
Let
friend,
me
both.
deal in this.
My heart is sorry for your daughter's death. But on my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
Oh, lies!
My lord.
I will not hear you!
No. Come away, sister. I will be heard.
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, Signor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, Signor. You are almost come to part, almost afraid.
We were like to have had our 2 noses snapped off by 2 old ones without teeth.
Leonato and his sister, what thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel, there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We have been seeking up and down for thee. For we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though very many have been beside their wit. But I will bid thee draw, as we do the minstrels. Draw to pleasure us.
By my life, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
What courage, man! What though care killed a cat, thou hast definitely nothing need to kill care.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. What? I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, when you dare, and with what you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed an innocent lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
I will meet you, so we may have good cheer.
Farewell, boy. You know my mind. I leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which God be thanked hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother, the bastard, has fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I will meet. Till then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest, and I'll warrant you, for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
Go.
Right here. Come you, sir. If justice will now weigh more reasons in her balance, shall not defend thee again.
Officers, what offense have these men committed?
Very, sir. They have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And, to conclude, they are lying knaves.
Who have you offended, masters, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood.
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. I have deceived even your very eyes, which your wisdoms could not discover these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the lady hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with my own death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation, and briefly I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I had drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
But did my brother set thee on to this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled is he upon this villainy.
Sweet hero! Now thy images appear in the rare semblance that I loved it first!
Come, take away the plaintiffs.
By this time, our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter, and, masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve that I am an ass.
Here comes Master Signor Leonato and Antonia, too!
Where is the villain? Let me see his eyes.
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath has killed my innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Neither liest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled, that had a hand. I thank you two, princes, for my daughter's death. Recorded with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention may lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but by mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet to satisfy this good old man, I would bed under any heavy weight he'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Messina here, how innocently she died. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb, and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning come you to my house. And since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My sister has a child, almost a copy of mine that's dead. And she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and henceforth dispose of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow morning I shall expect your coming then. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall be brought face to face to Margaret, whom I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul, she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything I do know by her.
Moreover, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment.
I thank thee for thy kind and modest pains.
Thy worship speaks like a most reverent and kindly youth, and I praise God for thee.
There's for your pains.
God save the foundation.
Now go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an honest knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship, to correct yourself with the example of others. May God restore you to health. May God keep thee well. If a merry meeting may be wished, may God prohibit it. I humbly give thee leave to depart. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow then, my lords, farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We'll look for you tomorrow.
We shall not fail.
Tonight I'll mourn with Hero.
We'll go talk with Margaret, how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
I pray thee, good Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it, for, in most comely truth, thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me. Why, shall I always keep below stairs?
Ah, thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth it catches.
Oh, and yours as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
A manly wit, Margaret, it will not hurt a woman, and therefore I pray thee, call in Beatrice. I give thee the bucklers.
Well, give us the swords. We have bucklers of our own.
And if you use them, you must put the pikes in with a vice, and these are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come. Oh, okay. The God of love that sits above and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. I mean in singing, but in loving. Leander the good swimmer, Troilus the first employer of panders, and a whole book full of these quantum carpetmongers whose name yet runs smoothly in the even road of a blank verse, why they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. I cannot show it in rhyme. I've tried. I can find no rhyme out for lady but baby. Babbling rhyme for scorn, horn, a hard rhyme. For school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Ah, sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, senor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with what I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, whereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind. Foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frightened the word out of his right sense. So forcible is thy wit. And I must tell thee plainly now. Claudio undergoes my challenge, and I must hear from him shortly, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee tell me now, for which of my bad hearts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good parts to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts do thou first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours. For I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There's not one wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, that lived in the time of good neighbors. If a man do not erect in this age his own tomb ere he dies, he will live no longer in monument than the bell rings and the widow weeps.
How long is that, think you?
Question, why? An hour in clamor and a quarter in room. And therefore it is most expedient to the wise, if his conscience find no impediment to the contrary, to be the trumpet of his own virtues, as I am to myself.
Oh.
So much for praising myself, who I will bear witness is praiseworthy. And I pray thee tell me now, how doth thy cousin?
Very ill.
How do you?
Very ill, too.
Serve God. Love me. And mend. And there I leave you. Here comes one in haste.
Oh, you must come to your uncle's. Yonder holds old Coil. My lady Hero has been proved to be falsely accused. The prince and Claudio mightily abused. And Don John, the author of all, is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, my lord?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thine eyes. And moreover, I'll go with thee to thy uncle's.
Oh.
Is this the tomb of Leonato?
It is, my lord.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death, in guerdon of her wrongs, gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon the tomb, praising her when I am dumb. Now unto thy bones good night. yearly will I do this right. Now music sound and play your solemn hymn.
God and goddess of the night, those that slew thy virgin night, for the witch with sounds of woe round about her tomb they go. Midnight assist our moan, help us to sigh and groan, heavily, heavily. Graves yawn and yield their dead till death be uttered, heavily, heavily.
Come, let us hence, and put on other weeds. And then to Leonato shall we go.
And Hymen now with better issue speeds than this for whom we rendered up this woe.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the Prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error you heard debated.
Well, I am glad that all things sort so well.
So am I. Else being enforced by faith to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Oh.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdraw yourselves into a chamber, and when I send for you, come hither mass. The Prince and Claudio has promised to visit me at this hour. Sister, you know your office. You must play mother to your brother's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
Oh, to do what, Signor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonato. Truth it is, good Signor. Your niece doth regard me with an eye of favor, and I do with an eye of love, do requite her.
But what is your will?
My will, but for my will, is that your good will may stand with ours this day to be conjoined in the state of honorable marriage. For the which help, good friar, I do entreat you.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here come the Prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined to marry my sister's daughter?
I hold my mind.
Call her forth, sister. Here is the friar ready.
Which is the lady I must seize upon?
This same is she, and I do give you her.
Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not. Till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy friar, before this holy friar, I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero!
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live. And surely as I live, I am a maid.
Former hero? Hero that was dead.
She died, my lord, but while her splendor lived.
All this amazement cannot qualify. When after that the holy rites are ended, I will tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and let us to the chapel presently.
Soft and fair friar, which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do you not love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why then, thy uncle, the prince, and Claudio are deceived, for they swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth, no more than reason.
Why then, my cousin, Margaret, and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore that you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter, then you do not love me.
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Oh!
Beatrice.
Niece, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her. For here is a paper written in his own hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedick.
A miracle! Here's our hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee. But by this light I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I did hear you were in a consumption.
Peace! I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedick, a married man?
Now tell thee what, Prince. A college of wit-crackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? Nah. If a man will be beaten with brains, he shall wear nothing handsome about him. And in brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing of any purpose that the world can say against it, and therefore never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing. And that is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee. But in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin.
I had well hoped thou wouldst have denied, Beatrice, that I may have cudgeled thee out of thy single life to make thee a double dealer.
Come, we're friends. Let us have a dance, that we may lighten our hearts and our wives' heels. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife.
My lord! My lord! Your brother John is taken in flight and is brought with armed men back to Messina.
Oh.
Think not of him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. Make music!